solidão fez com que Hetfield aprendesse a tocar guitarra, ouvindo bandas como Black Sabbath, Aerosmith e AC/DC. O talento levou o jovem guitarrista a entrar para algumas bandas, mas só encontrou a alma gêmea quando conheceu Lars Ulrich.
We met up with him in a little room. I think it was Irvine, California, and he had this drum kit that was kind of like the Muppet kit, you know. It was not a real kit or something. It had about 10 different colors on it, and he had one cymbal that every time he'd hit it, it would fall over and we'd have to stop.
O futuro baterista do Metallica mostrou novas bandas a Hetfield, como Iron Maiden, Judas Priest e Motorhead. A dupla deu certo e, junto com o baixista Cliff Burton e um outro guitarrista, Dave Mustaine, estava formado o Metallica. A banda não demorou para assinar contrato com uma gravadora. Kirk Hammett entrou no lugar de Mustaine a tempo de gravar o primeiro disco, Kill 'Em All. Nesse álbum, Hetfield mostrou um estilo de tocar guitarra que viria a ser copiado por muita gente. Os discos Ride the Lightning e Master of Puppets seguiram o mesmo estilo e antecederam a maior tragédia da banda, a morte de Burton num acidente de ônibus durante uma turnê. Jason Newsted assumiu o baixo para gravar os dois álbuns do Metallica que conquistaram de vez o público. And Justice for All, de 88, que chegou ao topo das paradas mesmo sem o apoio das rádios que não tocavam as músicas.
And Justice for All was nominated for a Grammy Award, and Metallica itself became the first metal band to play at the awards show. Unfortunately, in a now notorious incident, the group lost the Best Metal Band Award to Jethro Tull of all acts.
E para consagrar de vez, chegou às lojas em 91 Metallica. O disco preto ficou 5 anos na lista dos 100 mais vendidos.
Longevity, that's cooler to me than being on top for 5 minutes, really. Hanging out and still being relevant and for some reason people are still buying the damn thing.
Em 96, o Metallica passou por um período complicado, com o disco Load. James Hetfield e os outros integrantes da banda reapareceram tentando fugir da cena alternativa, perdendo parte dos, até então, fiéis fãs do Metallica.
There was no big plan in the end on how they were all supposed to sound, so we just concentrated song by song and just let them go.
Mesmo assim, o álbum vendeu cerca de 3 milhões de cópias em apenas 2 meses. Um disco com restos de músicas de Load e material novo saiu em 97, batizado de Reload. No ano seguinte foi a vez do álbum duplo Garage Inc. chegar às lojas, com lados B, raridades e versões inéditas. Em 99, o Metallica fez algo que parecia impossível. Gravou um disco ao vivo com a Orquestra Sinfônica de São Francisco.
It has to be taken with, a grain or two of salt, because this is just, it's all about having fun and trying something new.
S&M também foi muito bem nas vendas, chegando a ficar numa segunda posição nas paradas. No ano 2000, Metallica deixou um pouco de lado os palcos e estúdios para brigar nos tribunais com o Napster. Recentemente, eles chegaram ao acordo.
This is just something special that we're trying, exploring a little bit. It's not something that's a main thing for Metallica. We don't want to make it a main deal. So 4 shows is perfect. Just enough. Make it just special enough. To playing with the symphony now, I think we relaxed a little more, and people enjoyed it.
Well, does that mean you like this? We're very honored to be here playing with the Berlin Symphoniker, and we're glad you all showed up to see what this is all about. This next song is re-entitled Of Wolfgang and Man.
concerts with Michael Kamen have caused great interest in both the classical and rock worlds, but Metallica say the collaboration wasn't originally meant to be such a big thing.
He came to us with the idea of wanting to do this. Then we were going to do 2 shows, fine. And then we thought, since we're doing this, we might as well record it. And then, well, if we're going to record it, let's film it. And it became a huge thing. It's added a whole new dimension to what we've done. You know, the whole idea was to get even more powerful. We've got big, fat, thick, heavy songs. We've got hopefully songs that create moods, and that's why we felt it might work with the symphony, because we have these long songs that take you places, and there's similar things that happen in the symphony. The new adventure, the thing we're going to try next, is take some time off. You know, we have maybe 3 or 4 months that we want to get away and have some time off. Start writing new material. That's we need that. It's been a while. We've done the covers album, we've done the S&M thing. Now we need to get some new material out.
If Nostradamus would have said, one day, Metallica, you will play with the symphony, you know.
Metallica's Load sold 7 million copies worldwide. Its subsequent tour made some $34 million. So for Reload, it's no surprise that Metallica would go back to the same eclectified metal that was such a hit last time out. What's different this time? Well, on this video set, there's a lot of drug use. Fortunately, that drug is Dramamine, because right now the 4 members of the band are trapped inside that 2-story spinning box.
What it is that we're sitting on this sled and the room is revolving around us, and it gives the illusion that we're actually spinning like this, defying gravity. No one spewed yet, so we still have a couple hours to go. So we'll see what happens.
What happens on Reload? Band members say its 13 songs continue Metallica's foray into the leaner, more varied sonic attack that hasn't always met with unanimous approval.
There's a little more opinionated responses on these last couple records, I think. It's not like, it's okay. It's, I hate it or I love it, you know. Which is how I think it should kind of be. We're not meant to be background music, you know, while you're driving. There's plenty of people interviewing me saying, you know, well, you're not as angry as you used to be, blah, blah, blah. You know, what are you going to do now now that you're happy, you can't write lyrics or crap like that, you know. You know, there's still ugliness down under.
Certainly all is not well in the world of The Memory Remains, a typically meaty Metallica track with guest vocals from the legendary Marianne Faithfull and a Sunset Boulevard-ish lyric.
It was Goliath versus Goliath as Metallica's Lars Ulrich went to the gates of Napster, the software company that made swapping MP3s quick and easy, and challenged them with 60,000 pages of copyright violation evidence.
They just held their hands up and say, we're just providing a service here, but if you guys can come up with real people making real copyright violations of your song, we will be happy to remove those people from our service. It was sort of like a dare.
A dare Ulrich and his band were happy to accept. The group hired an internet monitoring service, and in just 2 days, they came up with a list of more than 335,000 names illegally trading over 1 million Metallica MP3 files.
I think it's about the most unhip thing that I've ever seen a big rock star do. And it's funny that he's an old, aging antique, and he's taking this antique position.
At some point, the fans and the people who are part of this become more than innocent bystanders.
Our users are exchanging content, and we Napster never come in contact with any of the music that people are distributing. We have no legal obligation or responsibility to police our network, and we feel the court will uphold that.
Fat boy. What the hell do you think you're doing, man?
Holy crap! Do you know who you are? You're freaking laws on from Metallica. I love everything you do. Well, except for that bad show you hosted.
You know what? Maybe I wouldn't have to whore myself out if you kids didn't steal my music.
Whoa. We're not stealing, okay? We're just sharing with each other, you know?
So it's like if I take this soda can right here, take a sip out of it.
Oh, my God. I'm sharing my soda with Lars Ulrich.
And you know what? I'm just sharing 10 years of groupies with you, frat boy. I'm starting to like this whole sharing thing. Hey, boys!
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Bobby, some crazy roadies just stole my car.
Not the Pinto!
Napster. Sharing's only fun when it's not your stuff.
What people thought was impossible actually happened. Metallica headlining a Lollapalooza show. And you know what? The world didn't come to an end. In fact, more than 20,000 people turned up here in Kansas City, braving the heat and humidity and a lot of mud for a lot of non-stop music. So Lollapalooza 96, finally, after all this drama.
Yes, we're finally here. And all the blabbing can stop now. Now we're into rocking.
It's really happening.
Yeah, absolutely. We're here and been having a good time out here so far.
So all these people getting scared of Metallica doing Lollapalooza, that's like unfounded, right?
Oh, I love it. I love that stuff. I like being hated most of the time.
Had you been to a Lollapalooza show before? This one today here?
Never have, never have. So this is the first for both playing and going to one.
You got carnival rides out there, James. You'll have to try some of those.
So we're just background music for a carnival. Is that it? We're like clowns to everyone?
Carnival.
Is that what it is?
You're carnival barker.
We couldn't get it all together. We were arguing with each other and saying, well, you know, I want your bunk, well, I want your bunk, blah, blah, blah. I've never told anyone this, by the way. But our manager said, well, why don't we just draw cards? We said, sure. So we shuffled the cards, said highest card gets first choice of bunks. So, you know, I reach for a card and I pick 2 of hearts. Cliff reaches for a card, he gets ace of spades. You know, James gets a card, Lars gets a card. So Cliff has first choice of bunks. So he says, I want your bunk, Kirk. I go, fine, you know. So he gets my bunk. I end up with a bunk in the front of the bus, which was like not as good. And that night the accident happened, and it was a horrible thing because, you know, Cliff was in my former bunk. What happened that night was that the driver supposedly hit a patch of ice and the bus skidded. It shattered the windows and Cliff got thrown out of the bus and the bus landed on top of him. And when it actually happened, I got thrown out of my bunk and knocked unconscious for like 3 or 4 seconds. And when I came to, I heard everyone screaming, but I didn't hear Cliff. And I instantly knew something was wrong because I didn't hear him. And I got out of the top of the bus because there's an emergency hatch at the very top of the bus. And I turned around and there was Cliff. And I just said, oh my God. And I walked away and I was in absolute shock. And I was delirious. I was in shock. I was hysterical. Everyone was screaming and crying.
It was too unreal to just deal with. It was like, you know, this doctor came into the room that I was in the hospital and told me that our bass player had died. And it was just too unreal.
Do you all know Cliff Burton over here?